Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Craig Smith here from the Let's Draw on Something podcast that I would normally have on Sundays, but now that probably be changed with the off day with the date, well, with a day pending. Want to do a quick video right quick. As the title states, the Kliff Kingsbury hire, what I think about it, and this is something I wanted to talk about on my boy Jimmy JSmoove's podcast. Follow and hit his channel up, subscribe to his channel. He has some good content. And I failed to talk about it because I know, as he says, he doesn't fuck with the NFL like that anymore. But let me share my little quick thoughts on it right quick. Kliff Kingsbury, and this is about almost 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks now. Was hired recently as the Arizona Cardinals head coach. Okay, in my opinion, I'm kind of questioning about that. And here they was after this dude and took a job to be the offensive coordinator for USC. He decides to go and boat on down and go to the NFL. All right, they kind of pissed Lynn Swan off there a little bit, but let's face it. I'm just gonna tell you the realness behind why he did it. Excuse me, and it's not because of the fact that he's 39 years old or anything like that. He a 39-year-old coach or anything like that. The fact is, money. These coaches are today, whether it's high school, college, or professional, these dudes are basically the low-key mercenaries of the sporting world, period. It could be any coach, basketball coach, hockey coach, baseball manager, or whatever. These cats are actually mercenaries. Hey, they're going to go to the highest bidder. They don't care about how you feel or who or how a person feel about them or other, man. All they care about is their green. That's real talk. But if you ask me if Kliff Kingsbury is a good coach, if you YouTube him back in the day when he played at Texas Tech, he was a badass quarterback back in the day. And as far as him being in coaching, no, he didn't play in the NFL. He got straight into coaching. Now his pros, I mean, yeah, when he was at Houston with him and Dana Holgerson, they both were on the Houston staff with Kevin Sumlin. They molded guys like Case Keenum, who, in my opinion, I think should have stayed with the Minnesota Vikings because the Minnesota Vikings wouldn't be out of the playoffs. Instead of getting an overpriced chump like Kirk Cousins, who want to tell a fucking wide receiver what route to run. He getting paid $84 million, and he want to tell motherfuckers what to do, and he plays like shit. So I don't even want to go there about Kirk Cousins. That's gonna be another video by itself. But yeah, he helped guys like established guys like Case Keenum. Then turn around, he went to Texas A&M. He molded guys like Johnny Manziel. But out of those two quarterbacks that I said, I mean, Case Keenum is in the NFL. Johnny Manziel isn't. Now I give it to him on that. Now here's my biggest con about Kliff Kingsbury. Ain't no fucking way in the hell if I got Baker Mayfield for 1 year and then turn around, you got the possible MVP of the league in Patrick Mahomes. Ain't no fucking way in the hell with them two quarterbacks in 6 years you've been with the team, been with the Texas Tech program. Ain't no way in the hell. You ain't got no business out of 75 games you coach. You ain't got no damn business only winning 35 and losing 40. And you get hired for a job at the NFL. Now, I could see if Kliff Kingsbury was like 50 and 25. Okay. That's fine. But come on. 35 games as a coach, you only won 35 games and you lost 40. Think about that for a minute. You had Baker Mayfield and Patrick Mahomes, and you go 35 and 40 at Texas Tech. When you had the latter for a couple more years than the former, you had to at least win about at least 50. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. 49 and 49 and 26. He should have been there. He should have finished that. I wouldn't hire your ass. Be honest with you. I'm glad Kliff got him a job. That's fine and good. But me, I wouldn't have hired his ass. And let's just be honest here. I don't give a damn the reason why you hired it because y'all want to try to do the Sean McVay movement. Okay? Sean McVay and Jimmy, and big shout out to my boy Jimmy McWright, aka Jimmy JSmoove. He can tell you, our boy on the Sports Talk group on Facebook, Corey Wolf, can tell you, Sean McVay is in a whole entire multiverse universe by himself. Period. Everybody want to try to copy all off his offense. Dude changes his shit every year. So he's a step ahead of the game as far as offense go. You ain't gonna find another Sean McVay, dog. I'm sorry. But the Kliff Kingsbury hire, to me, and I'm getting late about it. In my opinion, I want to share Jimmy, and I want to find out what Jimmy JSmoove's thoughts are on this. I think that was more of a risk and reward. And Steve Bidwell, the general manager of the Arizona Cardinals, hey, if this Kliff Kingsbury project failed, that's on your ass, dog. Now Bidwell and Steve, I forgot his Kerm. Yeah, Kerm. I'm been talking about Bidwell. His name is Steve Kerm. Okay, and Kerm has a lot of personal issues himself. DUIs. I'm the bald headed one. That's the one that's running the general manager. So correct me if I'm wrong if there are any Arizona Cardinal fans waiting out there. And really, I think Arizona's best years were when they had Bruce Arians. Okay, when Bruce Arians got to Arizona, 10-6, 11-5, 13-3. Think about that for a minute. They ain't gonna never get that again. Then they hired this dude, Steve Nix, who after 1 year got fired. And more of the fault is on both of them, on both ends. Because Steve Nix, he hired the most incompetent staff there is. And I said this once before, and in the bar quote from somebody famous. Steve Nix and along with the rest of that Arizona coaching staff from back then was so stupid. If it was raining piss, they'd be out there trying to catch you with a fork. That's how bad that staff was. So with that being said, as aforementioned, speaking of staffs, Kliff Kingsbury has been announced that Kliff Kingsbury has hired Vance Joseph as the defensive coordinator for the Arizona Cardinals, which I think Joseph is more of a good defensive coordinator than he is a coach. Because let's just face it, he sucked as a coach in Denver, and I wasn't too. I was glad because of the fact that he was a minority coach, getting him a head coaching gig. But let's be real here. Everybody all peeped it out. He even said it. He was a John Elway boy. So, right then and there. And then Jimmy JSmoove's favorite coach that he hates. Well, I ain't going to say hate, that he has a disdain for. Hugh the Coon Jackson is named the offensive coordinator. Good move on that point because I think Hugh is he's more suited as a good offensive coordinator than anybody. A head coach? No. Because he don't know how to coach. I mean, he's got some qualities and stuff like that. But if y'all watch the Hard Knocks Cleveland stuff, he did do some little dumbass shit in there. But Hugh is more of a good coordinator than anything. And if you say that Hugh Jackson is not a damn good coordinator, that's a bunch of bullshit. Y'all better look up the last several years he was there. I think the lowest his offenses have ever been was like 10th because they were riddled with injuries. He didn't have AJ Green 1 year. But other than that, his offenses have always been like in points scored, 5th, yards, total yards was like 1 year. Since he had their best year 1 year and they got their ass knocked out of the playoffs under him. They had their best year offensively and defensively. With Hugh Jackson as offensive coordinator, and I think Mike Zimmer was the defensive coordinator. They had their best damn year, and then, matter of fact, it was the year when whatever year it was. The year when Burfett made that stupid ass move. That was their best year of offensively and defensively. They should have, they had to cover kick rocks with Marvin Lewis, and Cincinnati hasn't even named their coach yet. So, and I really think Kliff Kingsbury did make a good move by hiring Hugh as a good offensive coordinator, because he's a damn good coordinator. He's a great coordinator. I'm not going to take that away from him, because anytime this dude utilized he bought a tactic from Steve Spurrier, because in the '96 Sugar Bowl against Florida State, he utilized a formation called the Emory Henry offense, where he lined up took one of the linemen and lined them up as a wide receivers. Look that up, Emory Henry formation. Hugh Jackson used that in a Wildcat package. Had the defense confused as hell. And next thing you know, they fooled everybody into thinking that the tight end was the eligible receiver. It was an offensive lineman. And offensive lineman, they let him know, hey, he's gonna be eligible receiver. Caught the ball. He got 15 yards at first down plus some. Now, he's innovative as hell as far as offenses go, but as far as him being a coach, no. As far as some comments he made about it, is why Jimmy J and I call him Coon Jackson. Don't get us started. But I think the Kliff Kingsbury hire is, I'm riding the fence on that. That's a C. That's a C minus. Because they should have interviewed, because I think the Arizona Cardinals management should have interviewed at least 1 to 2 minority candidates for that job. And my speaker went out. And then also, they should have taken consideration by looking at Kliff Kingsbury's record, 35-40 at Texas Tech. Come on. But I forget we're now, and this is a world where I really don't understand. Here I'm 40 years old. I'm going to admit, the world now is fucked up. It's so fucked up, I still don't understand. Rewarding people for failure. Look what's going on with Lovie Smith. They just gave Lovie Smith, University of Illinois just gave Lovie Smith a new 2-year contract. In a couple years he's been there, he ain't done shit with that team. Think about that for a minute. Teams rather reward coaches and everybody else for failure than for success. That's the world we're living in now, and that is fucked up. So with that being said, y'all, I got, get ready to head out for and kind of enjoy my Saturday before I get ready to go to work tomorrow. So, man, with that being said, this is Craig Smith, and let's draw